Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. I am back at the Angelica Theater once again. Really nice theater here. Just has more of an indie vibe to it, which I really appreciate. Don't usually come out here often. Last time I was here was for Showing Up. I showed up for Showing Up, and really enjoyed that film a lot. And went to see a fairly, buzzed about film, Past Lives, written and directed by Celine Song, and not sure if this is her feature debut or not. I have a suspicion that it probably is. Um, and tells a story of two Koreans. The reason why I bring that up is because the film largely brings up that point, that word in particular throughout the course of the film. Um, as they are, exploring their young love for each other as like when they were like 12 or so, and they meet up every few years to just to see how each other's doing, while also again rekindling an old spark that was once there. Um, and through such encounters, you see how both their lives unfold separately, with how the man's, he's still living with at home. He joins up with the military, whereas the woman ends up going to New York, becoming a writer, ends up getting married, um, and eventually they meet up again. Um, uh, and at this point, they do what I believe the film ultimately is about, which is about making amends and finding the closure for such feelings, and the tension that is still there even after many years have unfolded. Um, Now, I think that there are some very interesting things that the film does. For starters, I like that the large amounts of silence that is between the two leads. I love that the film doesn't make a point to have it be very dialogue heavy. Um, like there's shots of them in the train, where they're just staring at each other, or there's the like kind of far away shots where the camera's not super focused on the figure, but you have an idea of where this person is in the frame. Um, it has a construction to it that is gentle and intimate, and in some manners tender. Um, and I would say the same for the two lead performances. I found them to be fairly authentic, and fairly intimate as well. I definitely could feel the tension brewing between these two, and the underlining romance that is there. It's it really is really well translated. Um, where I think the film kind of starts to kind of become, um, I guess you could say, fairly generic for me, is with screenplay. I would say that it has a redundance in its phrasing, which I found to be a little bit irritating. Like they like to use the word Korean a lot. There's like one scene in particular, which I'm not sure if it was meant to be a joke or not, but they just kept repeating the word Korean a lot and like emphasizing that point. And there is an undertone to it about cultural struggles, struggles within certain cultures, and they make a certain comment on that, which I found to be interesting. But at some points, it's kind of brought up to the forefront, and I just felt that it was a bit unnecessary, considering that the main story at play is pretty much a romance, or at least a forbidden love kind of story, and how it like unfolds, and what could have been the reminiscing of past events. Um, it has a very I believe the movie's name is Blue Jay. It reminded me a lot of Blue Jay, which starred Sarah Paulson. Um, I really enjoyed that film. I think that the difference between Blue Jay and this is that Blue Jay is strongly intimate in that it's squarely between these two, whereas with this, there's a another character that's introduced with the woman's husband, who I found to be kind of useless in all actuality. I mean, he's just completely insecure and kind of a moron in some respects. I mean, because in the real world, if this was to happen to me, like if I was married to someone and they had an old flame in their life that just came back, and this person has been like talking on in about them for a couple years, or brought them up in many regards, I would not have her be be around, said person. I would not have that because of the ramifications, the potential consequences. Like, the movie, I think, in some manner, it's very mature in terms of how it deals with its subjects, which I found to be, greatly appreciated. But in some ways, I also think it can be a bit unrealistic, considering, how people are. So, not to say that people can't be in this position, but it's rare. Um, so I like that they flirt with the ideas, but they didn't, confirm any ideas. There's the other phrase that the movie uses a lot is "I don't know," and I get why the film does that. It's meant to imply, that yes, they do know exactly how they feel, and but again, I just feel like the redundance in dialogue and just how it uses certain phrases and the simplicity of it. I wish that it was a little bit more dimensional in terms of how they felt for each other, and because it's a pretty easy story to follow. I mean, I wish that there was a little bit more dimensions to it. um, but as it stands, I mean, it's solid work in terms of craftsmanship and in terms of performances. But I think that the writing is where things ultimately just um, kind of underwhelmed, because I think that it was just redundant in just how it's written, and in just overall thematic quality. I feel like it's also lacking in that. Um, but it's a romance, so I shouldn't expect too much. But how it was built by the craftsmanship, by those performances, by some nice visuals here and there, it has those layers. It has um, that sense of um, multi dimensions. It has that there, but the screenplay is not supplying that to me. Um, so I think it's good work from the director and from the performers. I just wish that screenplay had much more to chew on, rather than this, in some manner, kind of, because it kind of gets tiring by the end, where you're like, I get it. Yes, they have this affection for each other. I also have to say, I forgot to mention this earlier on. I really appreciated the aura of it as well. It has this like jazz like quality to it, which I found to be really, really appealing. Um, so it has the right aura, it has the right performances, it has the right direction. It's just the screenplay is just not more weighty. It's more light than weighty, and I wish that it was a little bit more weighty in some respects. But I also understand that we're dealing with a romance, and it's hard to kind of give more dimensions to a romance, than what they supply, because it's hard to do romances that are original nowadays, or having much more of a substance. Um, so it's pretty easygoing stuff, and it's like I said, it's structured, and just the overall like delivery of what the story is. It's like you've seen the story done before, um, but I think that it's held together by a very compelling aura and tone, some really nice performances, and some nice directions. But I don't believe that it is as impactful as a lot of other people are making it out to be. I think that it's just good, but nothing more than that. So, but that's my thoughts on Past Lives. You guys let me know your thoughts about Past Lives in the comment section below. And it's hot in here, so I'm gonna go turn on the heater right now. But yeah, my eyes are super watery. I wasn't crying about the movie, by the way. I sometimes get a little bit anxious sitting around people. I have like social anxiety. So just if you ever notice that my eyes are watery, that has nothing to do with the movie. It's just, just have social anxiety. Um, but that didn't affect my viewing. Don't worry. Um, but yeah. So let me know your thoughts about Past Lives if you guys chose to see it in the comment section below. Do you guys think that it's as great as the people are making out to be, or do you guys think that's just okay? You guys know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.